Welcome to this video. In this video, I will be discussing regarding Fanon's inequality. So we have been discussing regarding data processing inequality, and we saw that the proof of data processing inequality, it required a lot of different kind of rules and understanding, particularly how these conditional entropy, mutual entropy, they all relate with each other in terms of these chaining rules. So Fanon's inequality is easy to prove in the sense once we are aware that these chaining rules can be used. So what is the main motive of this inequality is that suppose we have an encoder. So you have some sort of a signal like some sort of a photo, and then the photo is encoded in 0 and 1, and then it is transmitted through air and then in form of these electromagnetic wave, and it is arrived at some other place or some other phone or laptop, and in there it is again decoded. So in this process of encoding to decoding, the point is what we actually infer about X, that is the initial photo, we infer about it from this signal, the final encoded thing that is given out. So this signal makes a decision about this about this X, about what this X is. So the point is an uncertainty associated with X given Y, if it is 0, we have this intuition that okay, that means that if I get my signal, I can produce the original input with a minimum error or with no error, because there is no uncertainty in the variable X, that is the placeholder of my initial information given this final variable Y. So in some sense, your conditional entropy that has the underlying conditional probability distribution is providing a bound to this uncertainty or the error that you can make. So Fanon's inequality makes this statement much stronger. So what it says is that the error made in predicting X from Y is related to this conditional entropy, and that is just Fanon's inequality. So here we define f of y as some new variable, that is the predicted value of X given Y. So the point is Y can have its own output set that you suppose call alphabet Y, and from this output set this function will map to the alphabet or the output set of the variable X, and this mapping need not be same as the original variable, and in general case it will definitely differ because we will have some error in the signal given a source. So this is the error. So probability of error, that is this X variable X cap that we say is not equal to the original signal. So we can also choose this F to be identity if we are certain that this output is always within the subset of this alphabet of X, but that is not the case most of the times. So to be safe, we can introduce such a function. So then Fanon's inequality just gives us this particular statement that how much error you make has a bound that is proportional to this conditional entropy. So it makes sense because the more is the conditional entropy, the more is the error. Now for a fixed dimension of the alphabet size, so this mod X is just the cardinality of the set of outputs of the random variable X, or the size of the alphabet. So for a fixed everything remaining fixed, if we are more uncertain about X given Y, we are prone to make more error. That is what Fanon's inequality says. Now let's look at the proof of this inequality. We will be making use of the six kind of different points that we proved in the previous video or last to last video while discussing the data processing inequality. So we start with defining an error random variable, which is a new variable that takes a value 1 if the source and the x hat that is inferred from y, if they match, and it takes a value 0 if they don't match. This means that probability that we have some error is the fact that they don't match, and so this error random variable takes output 0 with a probability error probability and takes output 1 with 1 minus error probability. So it is like this Bernoulli trial or this binomial distribution of success and failure. So given this, the entropy associated with this is simply summation pi log pi, and you just have 0 or 1, and I have just summed them, and we call it h of pe. So now what we do is that we just use the second equality, the chaining rule that we have derived in the previous video. As I must remind you, it is derived based on this induction arguments and using the definition of conditional entropy. So let's remind, the definition was h of y given x is h of x and y, but you have been given x, so I subtract the entropy. So we make use of this equality with y1 equal to e, or the error random variable, y2 equal to x, that is the source, and this chi that I have written, it is simply this as a placeholder for this chi is simply the output. So when we apply this, we will get 2 equal to sign. This is as I have stated before. You see, it doesn't matter how you arrange the y1 to n here. So y1 to n is a placeholder for y1, y2 up to yn, and so it doesn't matter how you arrange them. So whatever I get, I can always interchange x and e. So you see, the first and second equalities are just interchange of x and e. But now an important thing happens is that, look at this second equality. This is particularly the entropy associated with, or the uncertainty associated with, the error random variable given x as well as y. So once you have been given x and y, this error random variable is determined completely, because once you have been given y, you can process f of y, and then you can simply check whether it matches the given value of x or it doesn't matches the given value of x. And if it matches, then you will get capital E equal to 1. If it doesn't matches, you will get 0, as I have discussed here. So that means this part is completely deterministic, and so the probabilities are just 0. So the probabilities are 1, sorry. Probabilities are 1 because the event is deterministic, so we can cancel this to 0. So hence we get h of x given 1. So now we will again make use of another important inequality that was also proved in the previous video, based on this comparison using this log x graph, that it always lies below y equal to x minus 1, and that is the mutual information is always a positive quantity. So what does this mean? This means that mutual information can be written in terms of E and E given Y. So this inequality implies this inequality, and then what we can do is we can just write H of E as H of PE, as I showed here, H of E equal to H of PE. So altogether what we have is H of X given Y is equal to H of E and X given Y, that is always less than equal to H of X given Y and E plus, this would have been an equality, but to get this inequality here, what I have done, I have replaced H of E given Y with this particular thing, with the upper bound of this thing. So that gives us to this star statement. Now you see we have already been able to get a bound between this entropy of error H of PE and these quantities. And essentially the Fano's inequality will follow now, but just by understanding or unpacking this line. So let's do that. So the uncertainty in X, once you have been given Y and E, that is the error random variable and the source output, is given as E can be only 0 or 1 and you are adding them. It is 0 with probability P0 and it is 1 with probability P1, and particularly we can come to here and see that it is 0 with PE. So essentially P0 is PE and P1 is 1 minus PE. But uncertainty associated with X given error is 1 and some value of Y is again a deterministic process. Why is that so? Let's see. If error is 1 and Y is given, then error is 1 means that f of Y is exactly equal to X. So that means given Y, I can plug it here and I can get X. So X takes a particular value with a probability 1 and hence this term goes to 0. And what we are left with is that uncertainty associated to X given Y and E is just the uncertainty contained when E is equal to 0. This is intuitively also clear because E equal to 0 is the error case actually. And but you see now if E is 0 and Y is given, that means by definition of the error random variable being 0 means that X cannot be one of its output values. So the entire alphabet set of X, that is mod X, it cannot take one of the value that is mapped by f of Y for this given Y. So this entire random variable that is inside the bracket has an output set of mod of the cardinality of the alphabet of X minus 1. And we know that if R is a random variable with D outcomes, then the entropy of R is always less than equal to log D. This comes directly from this fact that relative entropies is always greater than equal to 0 that I have shown in my video 31 under this video series on quantum information theory. So now what this means is that H of X given value of Y and E is always less than equal to P of E times I replace it with its maximum bound, that is log D, and D is this. And hence we are actually done with this Fano's inequality because we have this star result, and here I have got an upper bound for this particular quantity here, and I will just replace this quantity with its upper bound that I have done here, and this is essentially that is in this square bracket Fano's inequality. So that's all for this video. In this video we discussed these Fano's inequalities. Particularly I must make one point clear that these are all classical results. Even the fact that we earlier saw in my inequality number 5 that h of y given x is greater than equal to 0. We have made use of this fact several times. This actually doesn't hold in the quantum case. It can be shown that particularly these entangled state will violate this particular inequality because of the nature of entanglement. We will discuss this fact. So these are basically the classical results.